What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kev, and welcome to another edition of In Tune. So, pretty much what I'm saying is stay safe. Without further ado, let's get into this intro. Today, we'll be talking about the stuff that I got before we had to go quarantine. I just want to apologize if you hear noise in the background. It's quarantine time, ladies and gentlemen. So, my wife is at home, and to entertain, the TV's on. But without further ado, we're not going to let that interrupt us. What I'm going to show you guys are the things that I got. Now, I got one thing from Walmart. What I'm showing you, bought some other stuff from Walmart yesterday, which was Friday. I originally went to Walmart for baby wipes and Swiffer wipes, the Swift the floor. Walmart was out of it. But I brought 3 DVDs and a Funko Pop. What I really wanted to get was the Rise of Skywalker movie. If you want a review or want my opinions, my thoughts on it, let me know down in the comment section below. Outside of that, this is what I picked up from Walmart. This is the original Human Torch. Now you're probably like, original Human Torch. If you're used to Johnny, Sue's brother, he was the second Human Torch. This was the original OG Human Torch. You can see by the comic strip they have on the back. Now this is the Marvel's 80 years. I have recently showed you the Marvel's 80 years for Wolverine and his first appearance in the Incredible Hulk. As you can see, it says first appearance Incredible Hulk. But this one says the first appearance in Marvel Comics issue 1. So I got him at a fair price. He was about they had it on the rack. Everybody just try to sell stuff and get them out. This one was about maybe $8 or some change, when normally they're like $14 or some change. So good deal. Also, what I picked up yesterday, or before the quarantine, was my final Black Manta. It's been sitting down there for a minute. I've been meaning to go over it, but he was the last one I needed for my comic book shop. So 2 weeks ago, before the governor was like, shut down everything. If it's not essential, close it down. And as you know, comic books aren't essential. I mean, it helps out a few people, but not everybody buys or reads comic books. So they shut that down. So I was able to pick this up a few weeks ago, and this completes my collection. I have the Superman, I have the Brainiac, and I have the Aquaman. Aquaman is right behind Iron Man back there. I got Superman on my back, and I got Brainiac on my back. If you guys want me to open these boxes, let me know, because they are taped. It's you can't see, but they're taped, and I don't want to just take them out of the box if nobody wants to see me, display them or review them. But this is the collectible, DC's collectibles, which are in good shape. But let's continue on with what else I got. I was able to get the thing, and on the back he has a Human Torch, but it's a different Human Torch. This is the Johnny that goes with the Fantastic Four. Again, the Marvel's 80 years Wolverine. And then I was able to finish my collection of the Star Wars, the Clone Wars animation TV show with Yoda and Anakin Skywalker. I have Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. See Ahsoka right there. I think I have Obi-Wan. Yep, I have Obi-Wan over here in that corner right there. But I figured I just review these Funko Pops, show you pretty much what's going on. Now they're all Marvel, because Marvel owns them. So there's really no difference in what I'll show you between a Marvel's Funko Pop and a like a DC's Funko Pop. There's no difference. But all right, let's start with what I picked up yesterday, which yesterday, which was the original Human Torch. So first we'll start off the background in his box is this silver thing. I guess it represents the 80 theme because it's silver, like the 80-year Marvel's 80 years. The number 80 is silver with some designs of all the comics. Now here he is, the Human Torch, and if you don't know the difference between a Marvel's Funko Pop and let's say like a DC's Funko Pop, whatever Funko Pop theme it is, you can always tell the difference. I can't really guarantee everyone, but so far Marvel's the only one that kept it bobblehead. Let's start shaking that table. Shake this. It's bobblehead. It's awesome. You know, it's just all flames. The detail on it is all flames. There's no scratches on it. His face is all flame. This is the way they used to draw them back in the day. So you can let them know that they're all fiery. The molding on this thing is amazing. Like I say, bobbles. With these type of Funko Pops, you can untwist it to make the head go higher or twist it more to make the head go lower. I wouldn't do that if I were you, especially if you're just going to keep them in a box to showcase. Before, when I used to do my YouTube videos, I would always take out a Funko Pop and just have them in the background to show it off, but I kind of have action figures behind me now. So yeah, this is amazing. Like I said, at Walmart this was $8.79. Now I don't know why it was that cheap, but I'm happy that it was, because normally Funko Pops are more than that. So here he is right here again, the original OG Human Torch. Bobble, 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 bobble. Right, next up is the Wolverine, the Marvel's 80 years Wolverine. I had got this from my comic book shop, and when I saw it, I was like, yo, I have to get it. He didn't even put the price tag on it. I was like, how much is it? He didn't put the price tag on it. Are you able to sell? He's like, yeah, I'm able to sell. He looked up the price tag for it. It was $14.99, which is pretty much all the Funko Pops that was in his shop were worth, unless they were like a double, package. So yeah, it looks like it's a little shiny right here. But other than that, it doesn't look like it has any scratches on here. I mean, and then this is the original OG. And with some Funko Pops, they stand on their own. I did do that with the Human Torch. This one stands on its own. And like I said, Marvel Funko Pops normally have bobbles. Now, I can compare this with the Wolverine that I have. The other Wolverine, Kate Bishop, which is back here. She has a big head. All Funko Pops are funny because Funko Pops are nothing but big heads, and with Marvel doing their little bobble thing, it's cute. But I can't stand her up on her own because then she'll tilt over to the side. But I'm happy that this one, he's standing on his own. As you can see, he got like a little mark on his elbow, but I'm pretty sure it's because he was fighting the Hulk and Sasquatch, so he got hurt. Fascinating story about Wolverine was, because this was his first appearance in a comic book at all, that at the time, they were like, well, we gotta draw something that has claws. So they think, what animal should we draw? And it was like a Wolverine. Okay, should we make him an animal or should we make him a human? They said, let's make him a human. And they went along with that. But if you ever read a comic book or watch TV shows of the X-Men or the movies, you'll notice that he no longer has this mustache. So you're probably like, what are those two lines? Those are like little whiskers. I said mustache. They're like the little whiskers that a Wolverine would have. And they drew that onto him. So this is, if you look at this one and look at, if I wind up buying a Wolverine, like, before or after the first appearance of the Hulk, you'll notice a difference in the suit. He's just greedy. He's mad. Like a little red thing in there. I don't know if that's because of the messed up paint or it doesn't look like it was purposely put on there. Other than that, this is amazing. The paint job on this is awesome, and it's just Wolverine, bro. Like, how can you dislike Wolverine? All right, next up, we're gonna go to. So next up is Anakin Skywalker, the man, the myth, the legend. What pretty much Star Wars is based off of, the Skywalker name. As well, he is again Marvel, so they Funko Popped him. Now, I didn't show you the back of the boxes of the first two because there is no collection. Like, there's no, like, if you get one person, you can get multiple people. So on the back of his box, you got Ahsoka, you got Master Yoda, you have Obi-Wan Kenobi, and of course Anakin Skywalker. Like I showed you in the beginning of this video, I actually have Ahsoka and I have Obi-Wan. I might review Obi-Wan. I think I kind of did, but I know I definitely did show you guys Ahsoka if you watch a previous video, because maybe I didn't. But it was around the time that we found out we were pregnant with my wife. Not me. I mean, I know I still look like him. But my wife was pregnant at the time, and we're like, okay, well, whatever the sex is, we'll figure out what name. And it was my turn to name my child. And I was like, okay, how about we call her Ahsoka? And after I talked with my mom, who said she didn't want any of her grandchildren named after deities, we named her Leia, Princess Leia. And I showed a video of me reviewing a Funko Pop of Princess Leia that I brought from the Comic-Con that we went to last year. But here's Anakin Skywalker, as all Star Wars themed. They are all on these like little stands, and it's just perfect to keep them up there. And his head is bobbling. He has his blue lightsaber with his mechanical arm. The paint job on this one as well is good. It's just amazing. I actually, not because of they just restarted the 7th season of Star Wars Clone Wars back on Disney Plus. I've always just liked to just rewatch the animation because it's amazing. So I'm actually watching it again, and rewatching the show just opens up a lot of things that you have to remember of what what's happening in between the second and third movie and what led him. And then the 7th one is really going to open up and like really start to show us him actually deciding to turn to the dark side. So by the time you watch episode 3, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, you can see the transition finally complete. So if you guys don't have Disney Plus, not say to get it, but during the break, maybe watch it. Again, sorry for the noise. I am home with people. But again, Anakin Skywalker looks amazing with the scar on his face. And these eyes, man, they just look so piercing. Like they just start to see him turn to the dark side. Awesome battle pose for him. Let's move on to our next one. All right, next up we have Master Yoda himself. Again, another bobblehead. Now, Master Yoda is amazing. This man is a beast in his own right. If you saw Star Wars Episode 2, Clone Wars, the movie, you already know the little green man bouncing from left and right. A lot of people kind of did not like that he was animated, and they more so wanted him to be a puppet. Those were the original Star Wars that grew up with the original Star Wars where he was a puppet. Me, I guess the movie when it came out, I had to have been 12, maybe turning 13. I was all about the animation because that was the time frame of filming, was make everything almost look digital. So if we wanted a Yoda who was kind of spry, like he's moving around, we definitely would want him to be animated, because we know we couldn't do that with a puppet. Maybe we could have. They would have had to figure out a way. The paint job on him as well is good. No marks, no scratches. He's just, standing there with his cane, like, are you ready? Me not know if you're ready to fight me. I am a legend. As bad Yoda impression, I know. But if I had a list of top 5 Star Wars characters that I really love, Yoda is in the top 5. You have Yoda, Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker, obviously, Obi-Wan Kenobi, And I don't know who the fifth one would be. Did I already say it? Yoda, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Anakin. Who would the fifth one be? I don't know. A lot of people are like, oh, Revan. Nah, I didn't get into the Dark Horse version of Star Wars before they were owned by Disney, and I definitely didn't play those battle games, so I can't really relate to him as much. I heard stories about him, via YouTube and all that, but I barely care about him. I guess oh man, it's between Luke and Master Yoda. I mean, Luke and Windu. I think I'm gonna have to go with. This is a tough one, because Luke, man, I'm telling you, he's the one I actually had to grow up on before the prequels came out, and Windu, Samuel L. Jackson, that man can perform. It's rough, it's tough. I don't know. If I had a top 10, I definitely know I would have them, boom, right there. But if we're talking top 5, it's a tough one. I don't know who to put who where. And the Clone Wars animation show, which is where Yoda and Anakin and all them, the other Funko Pops I got are based off of, they really showed his mastery skills. I don't know. My top 5. I don't know who to add in there. If you are watching this, please comment down below. Who should I go for? Should I go for Luke Skywalker in my top 5, or should I go for Mace Windu in my top 5? I'm leaning. It's hard. I can't even decide. I can't even say I'm leaning more towards one or the other. So wow, that's amazing. All right, enough for showing the Funko Pop of Yoda. Let's go on to our next one. Our last Funko Pop to review and look over is the Thing from the Fantastic Four. Now, in the previous video, I can't remember which one it was, I did show you guys who, if I wanted to complete the collection, it would have to be Mr. Fantastic, Wonder Girl, which should be Wonder Woman. Wonder Girl. It's Invisible Girl, which should be Invisible Woman, because that's a woman. That's not a little girl. Human Torch, but Johnny. The Thing, which I already have. We have Dr. Doom, Mole Man, Silver Surfer, Herbie, which is the little computer that Mr. Fantastic built, Galactus, and Super Scroll. Now, the last time I went to my comic book store, he sold out of the Galactus, but he can always reorder it. I don't know if I'm going to have him do it. I don't know if I'm going to pursue and buying it. But the last time I did see that he had the Human Torch, he had Mr. Fantastic, he had the Super Scroll, he had he has Dr. Doom. I did not see Herbie or Invisible Girl. So those are the ones that if I'm planning on getting, I'll get the whole set and then I'll show it all. But yeah, so it's the Thing. It's pretty much made out of rock or bricks. The detail on him is amazing. They made him look mad and angry. And, it's always him and the Hulk always fighting. Who's the strongest out of them? The paint job on him is great. It's not too orangey. It's just the right amount of orange, which I don't know any rocks that's orange, but I guess they had to color him this way when they were drawing him. He just looks mad, like he's about to get into a fight, and this is amazing. I think now that I have him out of the box, even momentarily, I might just actually go for the rest of the collection, especially because I know my comic book store, has them, and I can just put it on layaway, which he's real cool about. You would think with his big head that it will topple over and fall, but you know what I'm saying, I put him down, he's standing up, like he's not falling over at all. This is amazing. And then I think when I do eventually get them all, I'll just have them all just all out of the box and just standing around, the 4 on against whatever. yeah, this is great, great detail. Uh, the thing is, when I read Fantastic Four, I like him because he's so. I'm not from New York, but he's just so New York. You know what I'm saying? Like he's from Yancey Street, and they tough. They about that life. Not to say, well, I'm not about that life in Philly. I'm all about my family. That's the life I'm about. Family and God. But you know what I'm saying? He represents somebody who's had it rough and tough. You know, not the brains of the group, but the muscle of the group. And he was a pilot. And you read the comic books, he was a pilot, especially to fly out in space. So he probably wasn't as smart as Reed Richards, but he is a smart man. And he even though he's made out of rock, man, this man has heart. He has love for everyone. So if you and every time you read a story, whatever they focus on, each one would say each one is the heart of their family. But if you really think about it, I think it comes down to two people that's the heart of the family, and that's the Thing and Invisible Girl, Sue Richards. I believe they're really the heart, but you probably question that, like, I think it's Johnny. But I know we can all agree that it's not Mr. Fantastic. Alright, that's enough for the review right now. That will pretty much end the rest of this video. We got to review some of these amazing Funko Pops that I've gotten either before the quarantine was very, like, heavily pushed on us. And not pushed, I don't mean pushed on us like, oh my god, like they pushed it on us like we had no choice in that matter at all. Like, it's for safety reasons, that's understandable. But I did get this Funko Pop, the Human Torch, from Walmart at a reasonable price, which is amazing and weird at the same time because it's an action figure, it's a toy. You would think that everything would skyrocket in prices because if you go to get toilet paper, paper towel, the stuff that you need, they jack the prices up. But for this action figure, this Funko Pop, they didn't jack the price up. I think they were just trying to get rid of all their toys, which was good for me. I don't know when's the next time I go to Walmart because, you know, practicing social distancing, spreading out away from other people. So if you don't need to go out, don't get it. I mean, if I go to Walmart, I'm going for baby wipes or you know, just baby wipes, pretty much. Baby wipes and diapers. And I could go to like a ShopRite or whatever, but I prefer Walmart better. And then, so if I'm ever out there again, who knows, I might pick up another Funko Pop. I mainly base my Funko Pops and action figures on the things that I love. Like, all those Funko Pops back there are the things that I love. Like, majority of them, apart from the Justice League movie or the Wonder Woman movie, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I had to get them. I showed y'all the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord. Had to get that. Star Wars, I love Star Wars. I pretty much have a whole row right here of Star Wars. The only Funko Pops that I really want right now is a golden C-3PO. I have a silver C-3PO. It's no, matter of fact, this is it's an E-3PO. I don't even know who the E-3PO is. Oh wow, yeah. See, on the back there's a golden one. That's the one I want. I want him. It's hard to find him. There is a R2-D2 that I really want. I don't have him, but I do have a. I know he's here somewhere. Up in the back corner is You can look at the name, or if you, I don't know, but it's an R2. It's an R2B1. I've never saw him before, just like I never saw this E-3PO. So yeah. Also, if you guys want me to open up that Black Manta that I brought back before the quarantine started, I have the collection of the Aquaman, which is right there behind the Iron Man. I have the Superman collectible, DC collectible, and I have the Brainiac, which is part of that set. Which, if you think about it, maybe it's superhero and villain, because I'm like, what do these four all have in common? And it's obviously Superman, Aquaman are the heroes, and Black Manta and Brainiac are the villains. So yeah, but like I said, I basically base on the action figures and the Funko Pops of things that I love, things that I say, this doesn't, not only does it look awesome, but it's definitely something that I would like to have. There's about 3 Funko Pops that are not action figures of the superhero world. And I guess I can review them at a later time, seeing how I have nothing else to do, and I make videos like almost every month or in between months or whatever. It's a long period of time, but because we're quarantined and I have an essential job, but it's not really interfering with me worrying about getting the proper rest that I would need and pick up my daughter at the same time from school. But it is called the Funko Pops that I have are from the video game Horizon Zero Dawn. There's only a few video games that I'll ever play, but Horizon Zero Dawn is an excellent game, but I cannot wait for the sequel to come out. I don't know if they were this game came out about maybe 2-3 years ago, and I don't know if they were almost done or still working on some of the things that need to be done, and they just haven't finished it now, especially because of this quarantine, or this pandemic, not because of the well, both pandemic, but mainly quarantine. So yeah, there you go. Also, at the in the comment section down below, I already told you who my top 4 was. It's pretty much who I showed you here. It's Anakin Skywalker, Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano. I need to know who I need to put in my 5th spot. I have the 4. I need to know who needs to be number 5. Is it Luke Skywalker or is it Mace Windu? Now, you're probably like, well, why can't you just tell us who it is? Well, I rate Mace Windu because, and also because it's Samuel L. Jackson, and also because he's awesome. And although they didn't really portray him more in the movies, the animated show, he had some highlights, and it was amazing. And then the comic books too, that came out, showed a lot more of his BA side. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the Luke Skywalker, who they did show in all 3 movies, or let's see, the original 3, the end of Star Wars Awaken, and then he's wow, Mark Hamill has been in all 9 movies. Granted, the last one he was a Force ghost, but at the end of the day, still saw him. He was in all 9 movies. Go ahead, Mark Hamill. You know what I mean? That's the man right there. But anyway, yeah. Who should I put in my number 5 for Star Wars? If I added up for 10, I easily know who would be 6, and have to go on from there. But anyway, with that being said, I've been Kev. You've been you. Please stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face until you wash your hands with soap and water, and warm water or hot water if that's how you feel. Never cold water, because that really don't kill germs. Let's stay in tune.